Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got a video for you that's going to show you how to make money as quickly as possible in Warzone so that your squad can get their loadout drop almost immediately and at a relatively low risk compared to doing the scavenger contracts. I will tell you that today's strategy is going to work much better in quads and trios than it ever will in duos and solos, so it's really more of a team-oriented strategy. And it kind of piggybacks off the original scavenger contract strategy because when the game first came out, people didn't fool with contracts, and then as we understood the importance of meta and the economy and making money, most people started gravitating toward the scavenger contracts because those are the easiest to do with by far the highest payout and some guaranteed loot at the end. And you even have people drop and land on one and you have their teammates floating to try to land on the other one. And it's a really good strategy, except that now everybody's doing it, so anytime I try to pick up a scavenger contract off the rip, I have like 14 dudes with pistols that I have to shoot or beat down, and I pretty much always lose that fight and it's miserable. Everybody fights tooth and nail for the scavenger contracts. However, you can actually make a more efficient, faster, and more profitable run using the supply run contracts. These are the new ones that you pick up off the ground that tell you to drive like 400 or 500 meters away to some buy station in the middle of nowhere, and just reaching the buy station gives you some money and a extremely discounted or free purchase. You can buy teammates back for free, self-revive for free, or everything else just kind of like for chicken feed money. And if you're choosing to buy self-revives, the value of that is $4,500 plus whatever you complete on the contract. So if your whole team does this, it's like getting a free $18,000 plus some extra spending money. So the strategy basically works like this. As soon as the plane loads and you can see the map, you want to look at the map and you want to identify one really close supply run contract off your drop, probably just immediately. One person on your team will drop and go for that contract. Everybody else stays on the plane. You have a second person drop about 10 seconds later, immediately pull their chute and just hover. The third person will then find another contract along the path of the plane and go straight down for that one. They're going to go straight down and land and try to control it. And then the fourth person is going to do the same thing that the second person did and hover over the map. And the way this is supposed to work is that let's say I'm the first person, right? I'll land, I'll just grab the supply run contract, which is a relatively low value one. People don't like them, so they're almost never contested. The second person that dropped that's hovering is going to see the destination pop up on the map, but since they're elevated, they just cut the chute and fly to it. They can be there in a matter of seconds. They immediately touch the buy station, get their self-revive, and the whole team collects the money. As soon as that contract is done, the third person who landed to secure another one will pick it up, and then the fourth person who's still hovering will land on the second supply run contract. So the way you do this is you basically just have two people landing and two people floating, and you can do all these contracts in sometimes as little as 30 seconds. They don't pay as much as doing a scavenger contract. However, you can do two of them very quickly, and every contract you do makes the next one pay, some percentage higher. So if you do two of these, your team will have $9,600. So if you find like one little pile of cash anywhere on the map after that, you're immediately good to go for a loadout drop. But on top of that, everybody on your team is going to have self-revives, which represents $18,000 in value, which is kind of crazy. Or they could buy an armor box or a UAV or some kind of other extremely valuable early game item. And it just gives you free goodies and a decent amount of money to get your loadout drop while also doing all of this very quickly and at relatively low risk. The problem with this strategy is that it does split your team up. Every single person is going to be alone for at least a little bit, so it's the responsibility of the first two to catch up with the last two as fast as possible. The third person that lands to secure the second supply run contract has the highest chance of running into a full squad, so you have to be very careful about that, sometimes sneaky. And there's definitely risk with this strategy because like I said, you're completely splitting up your team. You can get overrun, bad things can happen, you can get sniped off your ATV on the way back. However, when done properly, this will get a full team kitted with self-revives and a loadout drop sometimes in less than a minute after the game starts, which is just incredibly valuable. And overall, I've had way more success with this strategy than I ever have with the scavenger strategy or the assassination or the king strategy. This one really pays, and I think it's a very good strategy, and I would encourage it to any of you that play quads in Call of Duty Warzone. And that's kind of it for this guide video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something useful, and I hope to see a few of you guys trying this out. If you do try it, do like it, or just enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.